Hello and welcome to the Movie Bunker podcast. It's me, Chris.
And me, Matt. Sorry, I just had a mouthful of elderflower gin.
Oh, it's still the holiday season, so we're still drinking.
It's
well,
allowed.
You are. I'm driving, but
It's allowed. Cream with everything and then booze with everything else.
when did you stop eating it? I mean,
when it's gone.
Oh, no,
There's always that last rush as well. Like around about the 3rd, 4th of January, we are like, right, we've got 5 mince pies left, half a ham. Today, for dinner, we're having mince pies and ham.
Well, I've got a cheese board selection to get through, and then like a Toblerone, a giant Toblerone, and I mean that's just
If I don't come out this year with gout,
my midnight feast will be, a midnight feast that goes on till about 4 o'clock in the morning. I shall pass out. But that's Christmas. Hey, it's Christmas. What can you do? So the last time we spoke, we did a Christmas film, which was Christmas Ben Affleck film.
Yeah, Surviving Christmas.
Surviving Christmas. Well, we had planned to record this next one, the Holiday Heist, the Home Alone 4 or 5.
Yeah, 5.
But we decided not to bother. And so we watched it foolishly before Christmas, but then actually never recorded the podcast. We can't watch a crap film deliberately and then not actually record a podcast about it. What's the point? So we're here doing it now.
Yes.
And so we're going to have a brief chat about this crazy movie, and then we're going to probably talk about some other bits and bobs for the year. Maybe have a recap on what we've done. We've got a little bit of a Christmas present to each other. We've got some unwrapping to do, and then we've got some little bit of fun at the end. I guess that's how this podcast is going to play out. We're going to give each other a little bit of pleasure at the end.
And you're going to tell how tough the edit is by how drunk I sound at the end. It's like, if it goes smoothly, I'll sound remarkably sober.
So coherent.
Yeah.
So this film was The Holiday Heist. Here's... Don't interrupt that bit.
Sorry, mate. I didn't know he was going to go straight into that.
Here's the trailer.
Okay, guys, welcome home.
Is this house haunted?
I have 2 amazing kids and they're home alone and I can't reach them.
Hold up, are you telling me that you're really a 10-year-old who's been left home all by yourself?
That's what makes it so cool.
And now real thieves are trying to break in?
Stranger danger.
So is this number 4 or 5?
I think this is 5.
What can we say about this movie as quickly as possible, other than...
Malcolm McDowell's in it.
Yeah, so...
That surprised me. I didn't think they'd get anyone in this with any name.
I've got an interesting fact for you about this movie already. It's just that I've actually watched this through choice.
What?
Yeah. I realised when I started watching it, I was thinking, I've seen this movie. But I don't remember when, and I don't remember it being with my children. I think it's been on, and I've sat and watched it in the background, and I've actually stayed with it. But it came out in 2012, and we've not had another Home Alone movie since. So this is kind of the last of the kind of Home Alone franchise.
Batman and Robin killed the Batman franchise, and then it took a few years, and they brought out a really dark version, obviously with Nolan's The Batman Begins. We'll have a Home Alone Begins.
We might have I think we have it. It's Rambo, isn't it? Because he has a home invasion. Anything with like a horror home invasion thing where the person has to set a trap.
It's now Home Alone.
It's kind of Home Alone in the Home Alone universe.
So this is one of the lowest rated films we've done in an awfully long time.
Yeah, 3.5 on IMDb.
3.5.
So the plot synopsis of this one is Finn Baxter.
Do you need to do the plot synopsis for Home Alone?
Not really. Finn Baxter sets up booby traps to catch the ghost of his new home's former occupant, only to discover he must protect the house and his sister from 3 bumbling art thieves.
That is bullshit, that plot synopsis that you just read off IMDb there. It is bullshit.
Well,
because it's not that at all, is it? Because like they moved to a house. He think it does look like a spooky house, like Amityville. But again, it's one of those things where every time I watch any of these American things, I'm like, how much money do Americans have?
Yeah.
Because like the house is massive. He then thinks that it's haunted because there's some allusions to that. Then there's these art thieves that wanted to get in before the house was sold because they believe there to be a lost Edward Munch picture in there.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. So he believes a lot of the early sort of recce's that the burglars make are actually a ghost. The burglars think there's a ghost there, which is clearly just the child.
Did someone die though in the house, or someone?
No, that was someone mentioned. Like the kid with the snowballs mentioned that. It's got Darnell from My Name Is Earl in it.
My crew back home, we roll in with shotguns and masks of presidents and everything.
I'm usually Ronald Reagan.
Roll in, kick the door down like, yo, get down on the floor! Nobody move! Put the money in the bag, I'll blow your head off!
How fascinating. Why don't you just shut up?
There's a couple of surprising cast members, but the rest are completely forgettable. I mean, I think I've seen a couple, but yeah,
Debbie
Malcolm
Mazer you've seen before and stuff. She's one of the other art thieves.
But yeah, Malcolm McDowell being the most kind of recognisable actor in this, doing, I don't know what he's doing in it, but he is. And then, yeah, as you
Tax bill!
Yeah. But I don't even, he's not actually, I mean, is he a good actor?
No. No.
I mean, is he just
I think he's trading on a previous, I don't know, even like A Clockwork Orange isn't really that brilliant, right?
I've never seen it, and it's one of those films that I'm not interested in seeing, but, you know, you go by the fact that he was in it, then surely he must be good, but he's always cast in things, but whenever I've seen him, he plays a very mediocre, one-dimensional character.
Yeah.
And he's always a bad guy, and he's always just a bit too full of himself. And he's the same in this. He's just pretty straight and
Yeah,
awful.
yeah.
I don't care whether they're gingerbread men or chocolate coconut macaroons.
Chocolate-covered coconut macaroons were Steve's favorite.
Oh, shut up! Both of you! Come on, just look. This is important. There can be no mistakes. Right. All right, now, look, pull yourself together.
I was going to take like the piss out of some of the contrivances in this film, because when I watched it, I made some notes about why doesn't someone just phone the police?
Yeah,
none of that all this happen. But then today, I watched possibly the greatest Home Alone film, which is Home Alone 2, Escape from New York.
Lost in New York.
Lost in New York.
You're thinking of a Snake Plissken crossover.
Escape from New York. Macaulay Culkin must escape from New York. And to be honest, that has a lot. I mean, obviously, it's a little bit easier to believe from a film in the 80s, 90s because no one had mobile phones. But you know, he still had access to multiple phones where he could just literally phone the police and gone, they're going to rob the toy store.
Or ask an adult for help.
Yeah. So and as I say, I had written down that these contrivances were in this film. And I was going to take the piss out of them, but then I realised you have to let that slide because it is. And then I was thinking, well, what is wrong with this film? And it is simply production value, like the fundamental story and the setup of why they're alone and why it's happening is fine, right? The parents go away, they get snowed in, they can't come home, so he's alone.
Yeah.
His sister, who's the only other sort of responsible adult knocking about, is locked in the secret safe underneath, so she can't help or use her phone or anything. So, like, all of that is actually fine, but then, like, when it actually comes to the sort of home invasion trap stuff, they redo quite a few of the sort of traps from the first film, but like they don't even put like enough balls down or enough micro machines. It's just like it's really budgety shiteness.
And yeah, the traps are very lame. And I like you're right. The premise of being home alone as well is not even there because the sister is present. So it doesn't make sense in that respect. No. And it takes a long time to get to the home invasion element.
Awfully long.
So you're sat. I mean, there's a lot of exposition where they tend to sort of, because it was filmed in the noughties. There's loads of references to like social media, online gaming, and devices taking up kids' time. So they spend so much time on this kind of aspect of it. The kids move into this house, and instantly there's Wi-Fi. I mean, that's unbelievable as well. He's straight online playing an online platform game or whatever, isn't he? There's no Wi-Fi issues.
But that's what annoyed me as well. It's like they did that thing where they tried to obfuscate what he was playing because he wanted it to be an Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah.
So they gave a weird sort of
a hybrid controller sort of design.
But then quite often in the background you could see there's a PlayStation underneath the television, and then they obviously produced some sort of shite game so they could see it on the screen. In fact, I imagine most of the budget probably went on the small bit of
developing a third-person shooter.
of that game.
I'm not walking into a haunted house in the middle of the night. I'm not crazy.
I'm getting chilled on the back of my neck. Code red! Code red!
Look at this.
See? The house is haunted. The ghost knows we're coming.
Oh, really? Did the ghost use that bucket too?
He's got a point.
Come on, you two. Just focus here.
Right.
We're not a bunch of two-bit bandits. We're not going to be stymied by a slippery walkway. All right. Follow me.
The main guy, Baxter Kid, he's so annoying. He's not even, like, at least with Macaulay Culkin, I don't know, well, we're probably a little bit looking at those films with rose-tinted spectacles, but...
Yeah, no, he's an awful actor, Macaulay Culkin, in both the films. But he's just enough.
Yeah. But
He's just enough to get away with it.
This geezer who plays this one, he's just an absolute tool.
Yeah, no, he's not likeable. The production value is shocking. The thing as well is that I realised that the whole entire reference to Edward Monk was just for the hand. So that, you know, the famous poster, when we're looking at it now, the poster scream.
Of course, yes.
So they're like, so the whole entire reason of this being Edward Monk is that at the end they can all stand there with their hands on their head doing that. The scream. So this whole entire plot point was simply there to excuse a cover shot, I guess.
Yeah. There's a bit where he goes to a hardware shop to get loads of stuff.
Yeah, like he buys a chainsaw and stuff.
Yeah, he buys chainsaws, hammers, and it's this whole montage of him kitting up or tooling up with a trolley. It's full of everything that you can imagine. Goes to the checkout, he's got no money.
Yeah.
So what the fuck's the point with that?
No, it's utterly pointless.
And he walks off with
£2,000 to come up with about ball of string.
He came out with the ball of... Yeah, the thing is, how much can I buy for... Did he not know?
I think this was just the director's way of pointing out how no budget he had.
But did he not know, though? The kid knew how much money he had in his pocket. So why did he... Is he that stupid? Because he's, what, 12 in this film? How old's the boy?
Yeah, he's old enough to know that...
To know what £2.50 will buy you in a hardware shop.
To look at the prices and go...
Oh, sorry, I can't afford this chainsaw. Oh, and, you know, all the other major hardcore
I'm going to put
prices.
it in the basket and try anyway.
So the guy in... Sorry, I'm going to labour this point, because the guy in the cashier is charging us all up, which is what they say, scanning everything.
Yeah, with a 12-year-old sitting in front of him.
Yeah, the bill's getting higher and higher and higher. Right, that'll be $2,000, please. He goes, I've only got about £2.50.
Yeah.
He's like, what can that get me? You're an absolute prick.
Get you a smack in the mouth.
Right, you can put all this back for a start, and you can buy this ball of string and fuck off. Was there anything salvageable out of this movie?
No, I mean, I watched it with my kids. I asked them afterwards what was that like, and they went, it was alright. So if you've got children, they're not going to hate it. The thing is, what I noticed is missing from the first two Home Alone films, and probably every subsequent one since, not just this Holiday Heist, probably 3, 4, 5. This is 5, 3, 4. Is there's a in the first two films there's heart, and there's a little bit of an emotional connection between it, and there's normally like a story about family, and at the end there's that feel good factor that goes missing after 2. Mm-hmm. So if you want to have that kind of warm, snuggly Christmas movie, put one of the early ones on.
Yeah.
If you want to put something on to keep your kids quiet whilst you're out of the room and you don't want to watch this shit, put this on. They're not going to notice. But it does take. They're going to turn it off. If I force my kids to watch it, they're going to turn it off because it gets too long before nothing good happens. Slightly amusing happens.
Yeah, and it's even. You know, kids aren't stupid. The premise of this all is bollocks.
Yeah. So we looked at the reviews. They're rubbish as well, so no one can bother reading them out. Frequently asked questions. Who is Edward Monk? Why is Sinclair so hot to get that painting? How does the movie end? It's a brilliant frequently asked question, because that clearly means people have started watching it and then gone, I can't be asked for this.
This film is completely standalone, so there's no connection to the first 2, 3 films. I think the third film there is a connection or a mention of Kevin or the McAllisters, but ever since that third one there hasn't been. Dr. Hughes, one of the villains in the movie, shares his name with John Hughes, who created the Home Alone series and also wrote the first 3 movies.
Isn't there like a Hughesville in here somewhere as well?
Probably. Also, the 4th Home Alone movie is based on Hughes' characters. There's another bit here. Debbie Mazur, who plays the...
Yeah, she's one that you'd recognise, but you wouldn't know where
she's one of the crooks. She previously appeared with Joe Pesci
Yes.
Joe Pesci rather, in Goodfellas in 1990.
She was Joe Pesci's bit on the side.
Right, I didn't recognise.
And
it.
then the main character Ray Liotta's goes off of her as well. They start doing the coke dealing.
And this is the only Home Alone sequel to actually repeat the idea of slippery ice as one of the traps. Huh? Did they do it in number 2, but then they actually don't slip on it?
No, they don't. He doesn't do ice in number 2. He in this they put the ice down, but they spot it.
They spot it.
But then he falls on it, or the police fall on it.
Yeah, there's. So, have you got a review? Should we just knock this on the head because it's bullshit?
There's three sort of 10 reviews, but they're all clearly fake.
Yeah.
So there's no point reading them out. I mean, like one of them is by Hugo Christian Anus. So, I mean, I don't know if we can take anything that he says seriously. So, yeah, I know. There's only 34 reviews. I mean, that shows how crap the film is. It's rated 3.5. There's 34 reviews, 3 of which are a 10.
Actually, this there is one here that could have been written by me, especially the last line. It says it's enjoyable, which is good. People judge this film like it has pretended to be a masterpiece. It's just a nice and lovely family comedy. I enjoyed this movie a lot, and it's one of the very few movie that I watched more than once.
Movie?
So that's me. I've watched this movie now more than once.
Well, yeah, that just strikes me as being someone that's trying to right the wrongs of a bad score rather than actually believe it to be a 10. These people believe it to be a 5, right? They believe it to be a 5 or 6. They've seen it's 3 and they've gone, no, I'm not having that. It's more than a 3.
So it's no surprise that this movie is going to remain in the bunker for all time.
It's not great. Your kids will like it. Well, not like it. They'll think it's passable. But you're best off fast forwarding 45 minutes of it.
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it. Just come on here and just do the FAQ to see how it ends. Because that's amazing. That's the best FAQ question ever. How does this end? It's not even like, what's this film about? Because that indicates that they haven't seen any of it.
No.
How does this film end? It indicates people have started watching it and gone, I can't be asked. I can't be asked to carry on with this anymore. Which I wish I had.
So what do you want to do now? Do you want to open some presents from us?
Yeah, it's Christmas. Well, it was Christmas.
So, long-term listener Darren sent us some presents. So you've got one. Well, there's 3. You open one, I'll open the other one.
Like all drunken mothers, I got to top my drink up before. Just that last bit was just gin, pure gin. Right.
So we'll open these at the same time then.
Santa Jaws. It's nice paper. Oh, I can't get in it. Oh, mine's proper wrapped.
The anticipation's almost too much for me. I can't handle this.
It's completely sealed with sellotape.
Oh God.
Oh, I've seen that.
I've not seen it.
I've seen that, and like I saw it again. Not again. I saw it come on TV. It's one of those ITV2 films, and I was looking at it, going, "Oh, that is absolute podcast gold."
So I've got here Dana Carvey is Master of Disguise.
Why did you say that so weird? Dana Carvey.
I don't know. What's his name? How do you pronounce his name then? Dana Carvey. Who's what? Who would you know?
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. Yeah, it's Garth.
I got the Guys Pals Kids, and I actually have given this as a present to people before, so that's brilliant.
Oh God!
Someone sent me Mac and Me as a present, and I sent them a Garbage Pail Kids
brilliant.
in return once. So that's
so
brilliant.
These are notoriously bad.
These are horrendous films.
So we'd have to do these in like a watch together. We'll have to do those for the. Well, that's
brilliant.
That's a thoughtful present because. I mean,
they're both really good.
Good presents. There's a third here, which I'll open. I'm not sure whether this is for both of us.
I'll watch drink some beer.
Oh, we've got to share Travel Minis, Avengers, bath and shower gels.
I like the rest of the sharing one.
Hey, to share.
That's the sharing one so we can rub each other down.
Well, we often do, don't we? Sometimes after a podcast, we feel so dirty. I do want to have a little wash.
We have a hose down, don't we? It's like that scene in First Blood.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, nothing says a happy Christmas like 2 shit films and some bubble bath. So thanks very much, Darren.
And to be fair, thoughtful. That's more than we got from our actual show sponsors.
to fill up the rest of the time for the podcast, because we're probably about 10 minutes in after all the heavy editing. Well, I got a really cool Christmas quiz movie game, so I thought we could have a crack at that. So what category do you want to do? We got Oscar winners, action movies, or comedy classics?
No, I'm not into spoilers, so for anyone that got given the big movie quiz at Christmas, you might want to turn off now, because there's going to be some questions and answers from that coming up.
Let's pick.
What have you got? What have you got?
Action movies.
Action movies.
Right,
we should nail this.
Let's do.
Give me some cards.
Right, I'll give you some cards, and I should have maybe unwrapped this before. No,
it's like all those YouTube videos, but this is more of a.
So this is ASMR.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Let's take 10 cards. Let's stick to 10 questions, otherwise we'll be all fucking night. Take it in turns. If you get a question right, that's a point. If you get a question wrong, actually, there's 2 questions per card, so that's 10
a lot. You can pick the most interesting one from your card. So have a read.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a top trumps thing, right?
Oh, you might like some of these.
So don't pick them then. Fucking Grinch over there. Oh no, don't read that. You might enjoy that. You might actually have fun.
Oh God! Right.
I want to Is there any torture questions?
I'll go. Question number 1. Okay, this is to you, obviously.
Right.
Which film series features the characters Riggs and Murtaugh?
Oh, Lethal Weapon.
Correct. You ask me one now.
Yeah, I'm going. All right, you should get this.
Okay.
In what year was Star Wars 4: A New Hope released?
77?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one. Which actor starred as the titular character in Machete?
Danny Trejo.
Well done.
We should give a pause, actually, because then people could answer it at home.
Ah, right.
We'll insert some silence. Yeah. But just know that I fucking nailed that straight out of the bag, right? What was the name of Charlize Theron's character in Mad Max Fury Road?
God. It's something about. I know the answer to this.
I thought this was the easy one, actually. I'm going to do.
Is it angels? Is it something to do? Is it something angelic? No. Oh, I don't know.
It's literally the opposite. Furiosa.
That's it. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's one wrong.
It's one wrong.
Winning.
I'm taking an early lead.
What is the name of the town PC Angel is transferred to in Hot Fuzz?
Oh, fuck off.
It's not that.
Oh.
Dark.
Yeah. I was going to see the sign. This little something, isn't it?
No.
Don't know then.
It's Sandford.
Sandford! Sweet Mary Jesus.
Right.
Right. Let's go on. Which character has been played by both Sylvester Stallone in 1995 and Carl Urban in 2012?
Oh, Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd.
Back of the net.
The other one was much easier than that. It was like, who does Tony Stark play?
Oh, God. Which 2004 film featured Denzel Washington and Dakota Fanning?
Action film. Man on Fire?
Correct.
Yours are much easier. Ugh. Which actress stars the titular character in the 2014 film Lucy?
Oh, Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah.
In what year was Minority Report released?
Oh.
You got some hard ones, I must admit.
What year was Minority Report released?
Yeah.
Can I start with a decade and you can nod?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's Christmas.
2000
Nodding.
and 7 5. Which way is that? Is that more or less?
Backwards.
1 3 4
2.
2.
Why would you go from 1 to 3? You missed out 2.
Oh well, then I've lost this.
Yeah, I've lost. Yeah. Oh,
Which 2008 film by the Coen Brothers won the Academy Award for Best Picture?
Oh, brother, where art thou?
No, Country for Old Men.
That's the one.
Can't believe I lost to you.
Well, there you go. See, you mess with me. I'm the movie man. I'm the
That's
movie
not
master.
fair though. Mine was like How
Look.
how many hairs did Simon Pegg have on his left?
You dealt the
temple?
cards, man. You dealt the cards. You can't. If you can't, it's how it
You
goes.
had name a film.
The one that's on this card. So what's next then for the bunker? Or do you want to have it? I mean, what are we going to do now?
Well, we know what's next, don't we? How boys next? I do that all the time. You're not normally sat there to watch.
Okay, is it some sort of like weird orangutan thing? What is it? What are you doing?
It's my hand symbol for you know what's next.
I'm not even drinking. Christ. Wow. Okay, I'm so glad we're doing this in the same room. I've never seen that before. I wonder what that noise was.
Yeah, well, now you know. It's nothing filthy.
It doesn't even make sense. It
Do you
makes
know
no
what's next?
What is that?
I don't know.
Does it mean something?
You know what's next.
Okay. Wow, we saw something drop on Netflix. It's coming out. We're recording this, what is it, the 27th? 28th? Whatever day it is.
Sunday.
Saturday. And you got that wrong. Hellboy's coming out on the next year, early Tuesday, which will
Well,
be.
that sounds like a long time away. You say next year.
But yeah, so Hellboy we've been waiting to do for God knows how long, waiting for that to go without paying for it, for Christ's sake.
So I mean, Hellboy was in our hit list for the year, so it's just scraped out of that, the bastard thing.
Yeah.
That one's been on there a long time. And bear in mind, like Holmes and Watson, we did about 3-4 months ago. And that wasn't even the most recently released thing, was it?
No. Oh no, this is going to be a pretty good one because I like Hellboy.
I want to be wrong about this one.
Yeah, so it's going to be good. And there's a couple of other ones that we need to tackle once and for all, and we'll get those done. And obviously we've got now.
Yeah, the Master of Disguise and
Master of
Garbage
Disguise.
Pail
I
Kids.
can't wait to see. And Garbage Pail Kids, I've never seen, but I know of it. I was a big fan of the kind of cards when I was a kid, even though they were fairly disgusting.
The antithesis of the Cabbage Patch Kids, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you've got another interview coming up with Hannah Woodhead, yeah?
Yep, we did that one. That's in the bag. Need to cut that together. That one, it was a good chat. Any thoughts about any of the films that we've done? Do you feel that any of them that we can assign to the bunker actually, on reflection, we were a bit harsh on and deserve to come out?
No, because the reason
take a beat.
The reason being, we do enough special guest episodes that are released when they shouldn't be. We do it out of courtesy. The ones that we do were a lot worse movies to start with.
Yeah,
and I think, to be honest, all of them have been, watchable or passable to an extent, but they shouldn't.
I mean, we find the good bits, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the whole point, isn't
Apart
it?
from this one.
Now, how about you? Anything that you remember that we've done? 'Cause there's been a fair few.
There's been a lot of films this year. Bearing in mind we said we were going to go 2 weekly halfway through the year, and then proceeded to launch an episode every week religiously after that.
I don't know why. We're just one of those crazy podcasts that just tend to not have a schedule and just do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go, personally. Terminator Genesis? No. Slender Man?
No.
No. Predator?
No.
No. Holmes and Watson?
No.
No. The Nun?
No.
Happy Time Murders?
No.
Doom?
Yeah. Had its moments. The Rock, innit?
Yeah. The Love Guru?
That one actually grew better, I guess. The Guru.
It was colourful. Escape from LA?
Just for the surfing scene alone, everyone should watch that film.
Yeah, and also Rest in Peace.
Yeah, Peter Fonda.
Peter Fonda died, rest in peace. We did the Avengers special, which wasn't the Avengers.
That was so mean of us. Sorry about that.
And we did
That's what I regret. Fooling our audience. Into
Pompeii.
No.
No. Not another team movie.
No.
No. Masters of the Universe.
Definitely not.
Yoff. Death Wish. No.
No.
Winchester. No.
So, see, some of these, when you read out some of them, Winchester and Slender Man, those are films that I felt had promise. And
Yeah.
the reason they're in the bunker is because they didn't push through that final third.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is a bit different. And I think, in that we sort of suggested a few better endings, I think.
So we're going to have a new thing for next year, aren't we?
What, a new like interview after ending thing? What is the hell is that called?
We're going to have
segment.
We're going to have a new
So we used to have the top fives. That was replaced by the pitch.
Yeah.
Where we realised we were tapped out very, very quickly.
Yeah, no ideas. Although I might still do a compilation of those just so that you can listen to it as a story.
Man, the pitches. There's some good shit in there.
I mean,
there's dark shit in there. There's a lot of zombies.
Yeah, we need to relaunch the pitch as kind of like a standalone podcast specials, so that you can just listen to those.
We also would like to do the Kickstarter where we maybe take the pitch.
Yes, yeah.
And then get the people to pick, and then depending on how much money we raise, because like it's quite easy to rank them, isn't it? Because like the sort of horrible Stephen Graham one, could be filmed on an iPhone for pennies.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the other ones, which are sort of more would require like the hell ones and other stuff like that, would require
heavy
CGI
special effects.
And stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We definitely got the band in there.
Yeah.
For a Kickstarter. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, well, let's see what we can do. You know, there's no end or limit to the bunker. So the new one, the new thing.
One, yes.
So we're either going to do. We have an idea. I had an idea.
I like your new idea. I think we should just run with that.
Okay,
Even if it's only 5 episodes.
Yeah. So the idea was, I watched an episode of Big, and we're not going to use this as an example. I watched an episode.
An episode.
Sorry, hang on.
Sorry.
I watched Big the other day.
That's how strong my gin is. That the fumes from it alone.
I struggle to talk the best time. I watched Big, and I realised when that film ends, there's so many more questions that need to be asked. Like, so the kid it returns back to a kid, right, in his body. She says goodbye to the woman he's had sex with.
He's had sex with,
right? He says she's had, as far as she's concerned, she's had sex with a boy, right? Now
mentally,
yeah. So that's not right in itself,
right.
And there's no alarm bells that ring before that time at all. When she's back at his apartment and there's all full of kids stuff, right?
Been the alarm bells ringing.
And then he goes back to his mum and dad's house, and so we've got to be thinking, what happens next? Not like in terms of a sequel, but what happens to the people in the scenes or
like
immediately after? What kind of thing? So initially there's therapy involved. You've got to think there's always going to be some sort of therapy.
It's America, isn't it?
And it just got to me thinking, well, that's a good idea for a little segment that we do in the podcast, because we were looking for a new segment, Chris, and I said yes. And this little internal conversation took place, and I said, let's expand on that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pick a film for each other, and we're then going to have to decide what happens next to the characters immediately after the film ends. So a good film as well. So it can be an iconic film, and that's why it gives us like a good idea, a good chance to watch some good movies. And then we can launch ourselves into basically thinking what would have happened to the characters and the situation thereafter. One from the past, an old classic.
Something we're just watching, yeah.
Yeah, cinema's vast, and there's some pretty good films out there. So you can watch a good film, one you've seen before, one you've enjoyed, with a new art. You can skip right to the last scene as well, because you don't have to watch the whole film.
Because you've seen it before. So we'll see you in the new decade. Well, hey, next year in the new decade. 2020. 2020.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing year for film as well. I imagine Cats will be rushed out onto DVD. So
probably on TV by the time we get back in front.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's had some absolute
Cats with tits.
And we've got some special guests lined up, obviously. And then, if you want to send us a review, please do. I mean, I think that,
mate, if you can't even remember,
I think
expect them to.
I think what's happened is that the email address isn't working, because obviously, people are probably sending in loads of voice memos of their reviews.
Yeah,
and we just haven't been picking them up. So I'll check the email address works, and I'll do some social media,
and turn it off and on again,
and make sure that works. I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, hang on a minute, why haven't you read out my review? I sent it to you like weeks ago. So I'll do that again. So sorry about that. We'll find them in the internet. And then like and subscribe and download and rate. That would be ace.
Yeah, because there'd be people with new phones out there. So
yeah,
on their new phone, don't forget, people.
If you've got a new phone, just download everything.
Make sure
again.
your subscriptions are up to date.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, man. Happy New Year to you, sir.
Happy Merry New Year, Christmas, and
Happy
stuff.
Twixmas.
Happy Twixmas. Right.
Cheerio.
Bye.